You're a wizard, Shabby.
Well, it's time for this.
Ocean Drives films with Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at Eclipse.
Ooh. That must be Halloween. Let's join that spook up in the cinemas of Bundoran. Collie, very good evening to you. You're welcome. The latest. You got a whole bunch of scary stuff.
Well, yeah, well, my appearance would be scary at the best of times, but at least this time I feel justified. I really thought you were going to start with, I see you've dressed up for the video again, so I'd go, no, that's actually how I look without the filters. But no, it is the spooky season, and I have to say, I am not a season person. I'm not particularly Halloween. I'm not particularly Christmas. I'm not one of those people. But my co-workers at the
Oh,
cinema, my God, do they love Halloween more than Christmas? They love Halloween. If they were allowed, the cinema would have been decorated like at early March, I would imagine. They're so excited about it, and they've piled in all the Halloween classics. And then there's so many spooky movies. Oh, last week, if you remember, we were talking
yeah.
about a few scary movies, and I have to say, one of them we talked about, and we were kind of joking about it. Terrifier 3. We've had several people walk out. Just went, nope, nope. Once he got the chainsaw out, nope. And
Too
like,
much.
these are people who go and see scary movies and they're walking, but they just went, this one, nope, too much. And one of them said, I didn't think it was that bad. And you had to kind of go, it is called Terrifier. And there's a picture of a man dressed as Santa with with knives, it was hardly going to be a romantic comedy. But anyway, we are in
Too
Halloween
much.
time, and we've one big movie this week, and then we've a load of classics, and we've some other stuff to talk about.
Okay.
So I suppose we'd start with Venom, The Last Dance. Nothing to do with Michael Jordan. This is the third in the Venom series. Now, I know you're not familiar with them. The thing about Venom is it's in the sort of superhero world of Marvel, but it's kind of over to the side somewhere where they're doing all their kind of semi-serious stuff. Tom Hardy has been having a laugh doing this very silly movie about basically an alien lives in his body and it's kind of taken over and he talks to himself all the time. You play the clip. It might make more sense if you do.
Delicious! This is Major Tom.
Eddie, my own, has found us. As long as Eddie lives, everything will end. Eddie, I'm with you to the end.
Venom, The Last Dance, coming soon exclusively in cinemas.
I'm trying to be scared, but I'm not scared
No.
for some reason.
No, it's not scary at all.
It's tongue in cheek. It's
Yeah.
tongue in cheek.
And that is about the strength of it, and that is the good and the bad parts of it. And like I think a lot of it, people would go, "Why is Tom Hardy, one of the great actors of his generation? Why is he doing this?" And I kind of suspect it's because he gets to act with possibly his favorite actor, i.e., Tom Hardy. He did that in Legend. He kind of does in Peaky Blinders to a certain extent, and he gets to argue with himself and do a lot of physical comedy, which he's really good at. And even though the stories in the previous two have been, fairly slight, very B minus storyline, he's always entertaining. And another thing they do very well, they get in, they tell a quick story, and they get out. They don't go on for 4 hours. They have,
Right.
Here's an excuse for Tom Hardy to go, oh, basically, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And then people push him, and the big monster comes out. And he made a deal.
They just thought up a new version of the Incredible Hulk?
Kinda, but in this version, right, he kind of it's him and his conscience. It's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It really is what it is. And he made a deal with the monster. The monster will not eat anyone who's good. But if somebody is evil, it's fair game. So he kind of encourages him to walk around town till he goes to the dodgy area of town. Someone's going to hop him. There's going to be some bad guy. And monster comes out and goes, Mom, yum, 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 dinner. Right? And it's that level of nonsense. It is 15A, but it's very cartoony 15A at that. And 12-year-olds and stuff, they've seen a lot worse. Under 10s, under 11s, even though they legally can go with their parents, it might be a bit much. But most of it is very cartoon. Like lots of people get eaten and stuff like that. it's not in any way graphic or garish. You know, it's
yeah.
silly.
The character or the alien, it's like the alien from Alien, the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what
and
reminded me.
that's not a coincidence. The character
Yeah.
is an alien, and it is kind of giving off all those vibes. As you know, like, and I mean this not in a negative way. It's not the most original story in the world. They took a little bit from this and that when they made Netflix. I think they took a bit for everything, or either that, or maybe other people had already robbed them and done stuff in the movies. But it's the others have been good fun, and you know, for the sort of, I say, 12 to 20-year-old, let's be honest, boy, they're mostly during midterm, bang on. This is just good, stupid fun. And that in 3 years' time, when they make Venom 4, even though they've promised they wouldn't, and you go, what happened to Venom 3? You go, I don't know, but it was a good laugh. You know, it's going to be that sort of movie. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it yet because Sony never released their movies till the actual day. So I didn't have a chance to see it yet, but I'll get to see it tomorrow morning before it opens.
Tomorrow morning, and then it's on tomorrow evening.
It's open from then 4:00 tomorrow, yeah.
Okay. Now, well, it's Halloween season, and you're bringing back loads of stuff here. Harry Potter. Tell me more.
Loads of stuff. And it's funny, I'm one of those that I kind of go, you know, we had those movies, you know, last year. Would we not mix it up again? People on the phone going, tell me Harry Potter is back. And you go, you know, it is on other services and stuff, but no, people want to see it in the cinema. They've read the books, and I suppose each generation are reading the books. And look, you know, cinema is magic, and pun totally intended. So we've got Harry Potter this week. Hold on for next week. But this week we've got the first 2 Harry Potters. We've Hocus Pocus again, and they all come back, and they're doing this sort of special, you know, deluxe Halloween cookie and all that sort of stuff, where they make it a bit of occasion for the midterm. And it's really, you know, they're just so popular. And I know they're going to make a big, long streaming TV series of it. But some stories never die, and people want to see them again and again. And I suppose, like the Harry Potter movies, let alone the books, the movies are 22 years old. The first
and they really stand up.
And they really stand up. But also, the kids who were kids then are now have kids. Do you know what I mean? And they're bringing them to them. Yeah. And because it was never set in a particular... Obviously, it was set in modern times, but there's very little of Harry in the modern world. So things like phones and stuff, computers, don't date because there's no reason. Other kids will be watching stuff and go, well, that's stupid. Why doesn't he just text? They don't live in that world. So it doesn't age in the same way. So they're always popular. Along the same lines, we have Casper coming back as well. That's our cheap holiday movie, and $3.95. One that always freaked me as a little boy. I can't remember where Casper was. It was Disney, whatever, but it was in the newspapers as well. Back when there were loads of cartoons in the newspaper for kids, and Casper always freaked me out as a child. I used to find it quite scary. It was never scary at all. It was just one of those that got me. And, you know, it's the one of the friendly ghost, and all the other ghosts are bad. He befriends Christine Ricci, and it's a really popular. I was just a wee bit too old by the time it came out, this one. But again, that's like over 30 years old now, and it's still popular, and we always get asked for it. So this year we're bringing it back.
But look at what sticks out here is Nightmare on Elm Street.
40 years, Seamie. It's 40 years old. And you forget, because Freddy became such a famous thing, and the movies became about Freddy rather than the other characters, that the first one was pure terror and horror. And while he does have some good one-liners in it, the later movies that weren't quite as good became more about setting up Freddy to go, you know, that look at throwing at her or whatever, you know. Where the first one, they were trying to scare you. And I watched it on video long before I was the right age to watch it on video. I remember watching it up in the Rosses, up in my cousin's house, and so scary. And people will remember the hand through the window bit. My God, I was so frightened.
And didn't get any sleep that night.
And it was because you're a kid, especially when you see it as a kid, the idea of you cannot get to sleep, or they get you in your sleep, and the parents are going, for God's sake, go to bed. And you go, I can't, Freddy will kill me. It was, and Johnny Depp was where he got his start as well, long before we'd ever heard of him. But it was great. And again, always popular, and great to see it on the big screen.
So check out Eclipse Cinemas for all the times for those, because
they're all over the place.
All over the place. Okay. Mr. Monday now, quickly, you're going to bring back It Ends With Us.
And in some ways it never went away. Massive hit, but we have to make way for new movies. And it's such a popular book, such a popular series. We're bound to get the second book, and I'll probably loads more of her other books because it was a mega hit. People, if there's anyone left who hasn't seen it, but out of curiosity for a fiver, and at the time I went, I am not the target audience. It's sort of a romantic drama dealing with domestic violence. It's not my sort of thing at all. And I thought it was quite impressive. And I thought it was really well done. And I thought the stars were really good, even though their life is ridiculously glamorous. And you go, no, nobody lives like that. But that's not the point. It is kind of a fairy tale to tell a story that is far from fairy tales. And I thought it was very good. And people have loved it, particularly younger girls, I think, have really loved it. And maybe the broad things that maybe for some older adults, maybe went, oh, that's not very subtle. Maybe for them, it worked better. But it's very interesting. And if you were kind of curious, sure, it's only a fiver.
It is.
It's Bank Holiday Monday. So.
Anyway, the good news, I got to see The Apprentice last night. And I have to say, I did enjoy the movie. I have to say, I didn't enjoy the content. The movie is excellent. It's shot really well. It just gives you that 70s, 80s vibe, and it just shows you how Donald Trump grew into who he is, like, and whatever.
When he was just Donald Trump, low grade, wealthy man, but they weren't at the top of the tree, Seamie,
no,
were they?
He was at the bottom.
They were nobodies, and you can see in it in the opening scene where he's in the nightclub, but he's scanning the other tables, and he always wants to be where somebody else is and impress the big guys. Yeah. And this is the thing. I know both of us kind of said off air. You kind of go, oh, that's really interesting. And then you go, oh my God, but that's who he is. And he's still trying to impress the bad guys. Like, he wants to be at Putin's table. That's how, or certainly how the movie comes. Now, as you said, we're preaching to the converted here. You and I were always going to enjoy the movie and think of it that way. But I was really glad you got to see it. And he's very good in it too, isn't he?
He's excellent. And all the acting was just brilliant in it. It's a really good movie now. It's not for this faint-hearted, I'd have to say.
That's a horror movie in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, in some respects it is, yeah.
Yeah, of all the movies we have, that's the scary one.
That is the scary. That's still running for another week.
Yeah, it'll be running for a couple of weeks. And I don't know whether we'll take it off if he wins or keep it on if he loses. I don't know yet, but
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
No, that's the movies, Collie. Till next Thursday. Look and enjoy the movies. Get out and enjoy the movies. And have a great Halloween. Okay.
Happy Halloween.